What's up, YouTube? It's me again. I have been issued a challenge by a viewer, and I couldn't refuse. Basically, it was dogfight the F-16 on expert level AI. I'm like, all right, I'll give that a go. First, I want to talk about why I think. Well, here, let's just. Right. So, as you may have noticed, I love the F-5. I think it might be my favorite module up there with like the P-51. And I love it because it's easy to learn, it's easy to pick up. You can start flying and operating the aircraft pretty much immediately, but that doesn't mean you're going to be dominating opponents. In fact, it's very difficult to master. So it's a supersonic fighter. It looks awesome. It has weaponry that brings it within striking range of contemporary fighters. It's got these awesome guns. It can turn, it can climb, it can do everything reasonably well. Good turn performance, all kinds of other stuff. But although it has radar, it's very limited. It has missiles, but these are not the full, high-op boresight weapons that we're used to in something like the flanker or something like that. And it has guns, but the gun sight is pretty limited. And it's got all this moderately high performance, and when you add it all up together, you get a very potent weapons platform, very potent dogfighter, but it is not going to let you just rely on the aircraft to win. You have to be good. So what it does is it forces you to get better as a virtual pilot. You can't just hop into this and start kicking opponents' asses. Usually. And I also love it because if you make mistakes, you will not be forgiven by your opponent or the aircraft itself. It will highlight every shortcoming you have, whether it's bleeding your energy too quickly, or your accuracy with the weapons or whatever. And if you force yourself into this kind of limited fighter, you're just going to get better. You're going to have to overcome the limitations of the aircraft, and you become better yourself rather than relying on the aircraft itself to win the fight for you, which is great. And I also love it because it's so simple that you can operate it with minimal mental workload. You don't have to worry about balancing so many systems and operating stuff and keeping your head down and like flipping switches and all that. It's all there if you want to use it, but you may as well just shut it off and don't worry about the stuff inside the plane. You want to look up. You want to look outside around you. You want to look at your enemies, where they're going, and think about tactics, energy state, all that good stuff that makes online dogfighting so much fun. This plane is so simple to operate that you can think purely about tactics and what you're doing rather than managing all the systems in the aircraft itself. They just aren't there. It's very simple. So for that reason, it might make a better tactician out of you when it frees up your mental space to think about the fight rather than how you're going to manage the weapon. So that's the F-5. On to my opponents. The F-16 Falcon Alpha model. Now, although later model F-16s like the Block 52, Block 60, or whatever, may have more capabilities, the F-16A is actually going to be a much more tougher opponent in a close-in dogfight. Reason being, as the plane, this is much more in line with what the aircraft was like from concept. If you're familiar with the fighter mafia and what was going on in fighter design, in the late 70s, early 80s, it's actually kind of an interesting read if you want to look it up. But basically, the F-16, as it came to be early on in the early 80s, was a far cry from where it is now. You look at F-16s now; they're loaded with all kinds of avionics. They have a fancy radar. They have BVR capability. They're flying SEAD missions. Newer blocks have conformal fuel tanks and ECM suite in like a dorsal spine. They have a little stinger coming out of their tail. They've been adding stuff to it over the last 30 years, which makes it heavier and more capable. Of course, it can do more different kinds of things, but Originally, this was going to be a daytime-only light fighter with a huge engine and a small airframe, thoroughbred, without even a radar in the nose cone. That was added reluctantly. And it was going to be armed with just a pair of wingtip missiles and a gun, and that was going to be it. Much more like the F-5, or more closely to the F-20. So this was going to be a nasty, close-in dogfighter, and apparently, according to the reports I've read, the F-16 Alpha was just freaking deadly close in. And it didn't even get BVR capability. It didn't even get the Sparrow missile until the ADF model was devised for the Air National Guard. So this thing was overpowered, like lightweight, just like a rocket with, pushing basically nothing. Awesome for sustained turn performance, just a nasty, nasty little dogfighter. And for that reason, on this mission, I wanted the hardest dogfight I could get, so I put the F-16 Alpha on excellent AI mode, and let's see what happens. All right. Here we go. Deep breath. Well, that didn't go well. I mean, if we're doing head-on shots, I may as well take my opportunity too. May have to close the distance so he doesn't have enough time to squirt that missile. There we go. Alright, not looking too bad right off. Fox 2. Fox 2 again. Got him! Well, that was easy. Well, shit! I'll have to make it harder. I don't know how. I got lucky. Let's try that again. Attempt number 3. Now we gotta fight. Where the hell do you go? Usually if I have to ask that question, bad things are about to happen. Oh, there he is. Horrible. Is that him up here? Oh! Well, I got a good lock on the sun. I think he's got me. The longer this fight goes on, the more likely it is that I'm gonna... Well, he's out of missiles now. Where'd he go? Gotta be back here somewhere. I'm out of juice. Ah! Hey, good fight. Even if he kills me now, this is a fun fight here. You're just looking pretty likely, actually. Where you at, buddy? All right, all right, all right. Can I do it? Can I do it? Opportunity. Nope. Can't quite get around yet. I'm going vertical-ish. If I can get around in time. Which I can't. Ah! Perfect landing. Mission number 4, mission attempt, whatever you want to call it. What a good looking plane. Let's see, maybe. I'll take the shot, see what happens. Hell yeah! Alright! You know what? It's not too bad. Hate to ruin such a good looking aircraft, but I mean... Gotta do what you gotta do. Alright. Much better flying than I was doing last time, I'll tell you that. Alright, so this is the one where it ends up being a pretty good fight, but end up wallowing. This kind of shows how not to fight in the F-5. I mean, I get a bunch of opportunities, but I failed to make the gunshot. The thing about this is that you're... versus something like this with superior thrust, you're the angles fighter, so you gotta preciously... I'm sorry. You gotta guard your energy. See, I could have probably made a snapshot out of that. You know, hold on to your energy until that one last second when you make a hard turn to make the kill. It's the only way I can keep my energy up in this thing. Is a little underpowered, especially compared to this, is to keep dropping your nose and diving. And you can only do that so much. So you can see where I'm trying to get in, you know, I can't quite do it because you can just zoom. Right here, if I had done a hard right level turn, I might have been able to get a snapshot on him. Nope, no, there's no way. And that's where I evacuated my bowels, because he probably could have killed me right there. If you look at my turn radius, it's actually, damn, man. Turn radius is actually pretty good, but when you're low speed, like your turn radius is pretty good, but your turn rate is not where it needs to be. And he is just taking his time. You know, all he has to do is wait for me to keep turning, which I keep doing because I'm an idiot. And, you know, boom, right there. It's just a matter of time. I evade well enough, but you know, I wasn't watching out the front like I should. I was looking over my looking over my shoulder, and you know how that goes. Good use of energy on his part, but he's the AI. He cheats straight up. And look, a perfect landing. All right, so the other one I wanted to show was it this one? Yeah. This is the one where I actually this is the last one you actually saw in the cockpit. So pump flares to keep him from headshotting me. 180 no scope or whatever the hell the kids are calling it these days. Right here, if I was better with the gun, I could have had him right there. But I missed. And that's how these things go. I mean, it's just a split, little few degrees off, and not firing when you need to, and you miss your shot. And you know, if you're unlucky, it'll kill you. If you're lucky, you get another shot, like I end up doing here. Excuse me. Box 2, boom, right in the face. Actually, no, that was the first time I killed him. Unfortunately, I've got a problem with my Windows clock. It keeps losing time, and the timestamps on these things are getting all jacked up. So I don't know what I did when, and that's really frustrating. So if anybody has any ideas on how to fix that, that'd be super cool of you. It's on automatic update. It's supposed to be, you know, keeping track of time. Anyway, that's not your problem. It's mine. Anyway, thanks for watching. If anybody else wants to issue a challenge, I'm up for it. That's actually a lot of fun. You know, throw it out there. I'll see what I can do. Only problem is if it's an online challenge, trying to fight other humans, my work schedule is so unpredictable. Like, it's almost impossible to schedule that stuff. So I just have to pick up the fights against the AI when I can. So yeah, keep throwing them at me. That's good stuff. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.